I lost my passion for cinematography, and I lost it while continuously picking up the camera for projects. And when I think back, actually, I started losing my passion when I started taking my career seriously. I know that sounds ironic, but I feel like it's something we all struggle with as creatives, as cinematographers, as people in general, when push comes to shove, and I just want to talk about that. Now, for those who don't know me, my name is Alekius Ide. I am a cinematographer based out of Lagos, Nigeria, and I've been doing this professionally for about 4 years now. So if you're like me and you decided to go on a creative journey in your life, either out of fun, out of passion, or even out of money, you would know that there's a point in your life where there was so much zeal, there was so much energy towards this thing, and it was like, yo man, this thing is either it works or it does not work. Like, is either go big or go home, right? And I was there, but oftentimes those feelings fade and they're not sustainable because they're not built to sustain you. And with that being said, I went on with that zeal, with that passion for this craft for the longest time. I was very hungry to do something. I was very hungry to create images, and I did that for the longest time before I started taking it professionally. I would on my own go out of my way, create stuff, take pictures, take videos, start a YouTube channel. I did all those things because I was hungry to learn, hungry to do more things. But I found out that immediately I started taking my career seriously, started making money, people started asking, I want to pay you, or I started making a little bit of money, I lost it. And let me tell you why. Initially, when I started this journey, I was completely consumed by the way films, stories, documentaries would pull you into their world. It was almost like as if you left out of your body and went into that realm, that film, whatever you're watching. You think like the characters, you act like them, you feel what they feel, you are basically them. And most of the time when you're pulled out of that, you often take with you memories, situations, experiences, ideologies, and sometimes even character traits from these people and stuff you've watched. And I was consumed by that. I loved it. And for me, growing up, I grew up in a space that was very volatile, if you will. A lot of noise, a lot of uncertainty, confusion, drama, trauma, anger, sadness, confusion. And for me, I would recall often in church, school, places where I should be paying attention, I would always zone out, go into my own world, build my own world in my head off of shows I've watched, things I've enjoyed, things people have talked about. I would always create my own universe with main characters, actors, everything, I would always do that, and I still do that till today. I usually enjoy stories that are very open-ended or that are very deep in terms of storytelling, because the world is deep. Everything is not so black and white as way, some things are portrayed on screen. And for me, I just wanted to be a part of that. A chance to be able to put what I know, my experiences, things people have told me, things I think and things I know, put it back on screen and just create my own universe like I used to do as a kid. And when I started making money off my career, it came to a point in time where it just became about the money, because how much does this client want? I'm only going to do it if my client pays this amount of money. And then 1, 2, 3 years go by and you've forgotten why you do this in the first place. There are times where I'll pick up the camera again, do something for myself, but it will last only just a while because hunger is real. And the funny thing is, even though I was still learning about the craft, learning about the business, there was not much to it. It was just as if I was learning for other people, not learning for myself. I've been doing this for 8 years. It was only towards the end of last year, 2025, where I realized my preference and my style for lighting shots, for lighting my scenes. It was always, this is what the client wants, this is what this person wants, and I would just say, this is what is popular, and I would just do that because that's naturally. And it took, I didn't really know how to light scenes for me. But what I learned and what I've seen is that there are people who have so attended to their passions, to their self, attending to themselves so much that what they know and their style is what is sought after. And then there's comparison. Let's not even go there, because for me, I struggle with this so much, because I remember I would spend, back in my event era when I used to shoot events a lot, I would spend my days, hours on Instagram scrolling, comparing myself to people who I deemed better than me in the industry or whatever. And I would feel bad for poor me, bad for myself. This person is doing this, I'm not doing this, just following the trends. But I don't like events. It was created experience for people for a particular thing. So I didn't know how to. People will want to always appear perfect in events. They want to appear beautiful. They want to appear, put together in events. But my kind of style, I want to tell the real rawness of a story, like the dirty parts, the ugly parts, the part people do not want to see, because we need to see it, because nobody is perfect, and we need to see our imperfect pieces. But basically, events were not what I wanted to do. But I spent time feeling bad about myself, that I'm not good, because I was comparing myself with people who were big in the event industry, not knowing that I don't even want to be here. So why am I wasting my time feeling bad that I'm not there when I don't even want to go there? If that makes any sense. Now, why am I doing all this? Why am I even saying all this? I'm not saying never go watch another person's video or enjoy it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying just do stuff for free and just never make money, never take a pay job or anything, because get your money, put food on your table, shoot stuff that makes sense, or don't go and shoot stuff that nonsense, because that's a different topic for another day. People shoot nonsense for money. But what I'm just trying to say is that, like me, you need to find a space where your voice can breathe, where the real reason why you started this can be at the forefront of your head, because that's what will determine why you do it. That's what will determine how far you go, so that you don't find yourself like me, 1 year, 5 months, 7 months, you haven't really done anything that you can say you're proud of, but you're shooting stuff just like it's just another job, but you're not really, and you're not even really working on yourself to the point where you can pitch projects, you can create projects around you, you can create campaigns, storylines, stuff that you can actually pitch to brands and get grants from. People do that a lot, like, because they are so intertwined with themselves, and they know why they are doing it. They have their goal in the back of their head. They can create projects and then pitch and get budgets and do the stuff that most of us are like, oh my God, when? God is looking at you like, now just take your time and zoom out. People say the more you look, the less you see. It's true. So zoom out so you can see more. That's why I'm trying to do this again. I'm trying to put myself out there more, because I've shied away from doing that a lot. I've shied away from putting my face out there in screen, because I'm like, oh, it's content. There are so many people that are doing this, but at the end of the day, people are doing this, but I'm not doing it. I'm not them, and they're not me. What I have to say, there are people that in my circle in the world that need to hear from me. So I'm doing those people a disservice to not talk about what I know, to not share the information and the knowledge I've gotten over these years. My experience, my passions. It's the same thing as I wanted to put my stories out there in film. How can people know and connect with me, with my stories, with my documentaries, with my films, when they don't know me? They need to know me, and I need to be okay with them knowing me, at least the part I want to show them, because you cannot know me fully from this, right? But you get the point. So for me, this is another course correction, and let's get back on target. Let's create more stuff. Let's tell our stories more. I want to tell my story more, and yeah. So yeah.